Hey humans, welcome to Read to Me, Matt Dunn. I'm Matt Dunn, and I'm going to read to you. Today we're reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Chapter 23. Exciting, right? Elizabeth was sitting with her mother and sisters, reflecting on what she had heard and doubting whether she was authorized to mention it, when Sir William Lucas himself appeared, sent by his daughter to announce her engagement to the family. With many compliments to them and much Jesus Christ, that was out of nowhere. And self-gratification on the prospect of a connection between the houses, he unfolded the matter to an audience not merely wondering, but incredulous. For Mrs. Bennet, with more perseverance than politeness, protested he must be entirely mistaken, and Lydia, always unguarded and often uncivil, boisterously exclaimed, "Good Lord, Sir William, how can you tell such a story? Do not you know that Mr. Collins wants to marry Lizzie?" Nothing less than the complacence of a courtier could have borne without anger such treatment, but Sir William's good breeding carried him through it all, and though he begged leave to be positive as to the truth of his information, he listened to all their impertinence with the most forbearing courtesy. Elizabeth, feeling it incumbent on her to relieve him from so unpleasant a situation, now put herself forward to confirm his account by mentioning her prior knowledge of it from Charlotte herself, and endeavored to put a stop to the exclamation of her mother and sisters by the earnestness of her congratulations to Sir William, in which she was readily joined by Jane, and by making a variety of remarks on the happiness that might be expected from the match, the excellent character of Mr. Collins, and the convenient distance of Hunsford from London. Such wonderful things to be congratulated on. Lovely couch arrangements you'll have, and yeah, you guys have good walking distance. Yeah, you guys are like next door. Right. Mrs. Bennet was, in fact, too much overpowered to say a great deal while Sir William remained. But no sooner had he left them than her feelings found a rapid vent. In the first place, she persisted in disbelieving the whole of the matter. Secondly, she was very sure that Mr. Collins had been taken in. Thirdly, she trusted that they would never be happy together. And fourthly, that the match might be broken off. Come on now, Mrs. Bennet. Is it? Is it really Mrs. Bennet? Or is it Mrs. Poor Loser? Two interferences, however, were plainly deduced from the whole. One, that Elizabeth was the real cause of all the mischief, and the other, that she herself had been barbarously used by them all, and on these 2 points she principally dwelt during the rest of her day. Nothing could console and nothing appease her, nor did that day wear out her resentment. A week elapsed before she could see Elizabeth without scolding her. A month passed away before she could speak to Sir William or Lady Lucas without being rude, and many months were gone before she could at all forgive their daughter. Makes sense. She's just not a good mother. Nobody really cares. Personally, I don't care. Right? I'm sorry it didn't go your way. Divorce is not a thing back then, so you should have all the right to fucking take your time and choose. Murder was a thing, though. That's for sure. Jane confessed herself a little surprised at the match, but she said less of her astonishment than of her earnest desire for their happiness. Nor could Elizabeth persuade her to consider it as improbable. Kitty and Lydia were far from envying Miss Lucas, for Mr. Collins was only a clergyman, and it affected them in no other way than as a piece of news to spread at Meryton. Hello, other people are getting married and it's nothing big deal. Anyway, did you catch all those stocks and bonds and the fair trades and stuff and what? Yes. Lady Lucas could not be insensible of triumph on being able to retort on Mrs. Bennet the comfort of having a daughter well married, and she called at Longbourn rather often than usual to say how happy she was, though Mrs. Bennet's sour looks and ill-natured remarks might have been enough to drive happiness away. Between Elizabeth and Charlotte there was a restraint which kept them mutually silent on the subject, and Elizabeth felt persuaded that no real confidence could ever subsist between them again. Her disappointment in Charlotte made her turn with fonder regard to her sister, of whose rectitude and delicacy she was sure her opinion could never be shaken, and for whose happiness she grew daily more anxious, as Bingley had now been gone a week and nothing was heard of his return. What about Wickham? Jane had sent Caroline an early answer to her letter, and was counting the days till she might reasonably hope to hear again. I just, what if Elizabeth doesn't get married? Does she just live with her parents all day long? Is that the thing? Does she not get her own place? Does she get the parents' place? Is that how it works? Does she not care? Is she just living free, living wild? Who knows? Just think about that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The comments. It's a cool spot. Click it. I think Elizabeth could use a haircut in my mind. Because personally, I'm thinking her as a long blonde. But I think she should have short hair blonde. But they're just why are you not picturing her as a short hair blonde? Because technically I picture her as a long hair blonde that needs a haircut. This character choice needs a haircut. The promised letter of thanks from Mr. Collins arrived on Tuesday, addressed to their father, and written with all the solemnity of gratitude with a 12 months' abode in the family might have prompted. After discharging his conscience on that head, he brackets, proceeded, end brackets, to inform them with many rapturous expressions of his happiness in having obtained the affection of their amiable neighbor, Miss Lucas, and then explained that it was merely with the view of enjoying his society that he had been so ready to close with their kind wish of seeing him again at Longbourn, whither he hoped to be able to return on Monday fortnight. For Lady Catherine, he added, so heartily approved his marriage, that she wished it to take place as soon as possible, which he trusted would be an unanswerable argument with his amiable Charlotte to name an early day for making him the happiest of men. Whoa. Yeah. Let's take a break right there. We're going to take a break on that, and it's going to be a part 1 and a part 2. I know these videos get a little long, and we're all real tired, and we have things to do, and you guys don't want to listen to me all day long. I get it. So hey, I'll keep this short and simple. If you want to check out some more of my videos, cool. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Cool. Hit the like button if you like it. And if you know what? Hey, just I'll see you later. Stay weird.